Hey guys, this is Bill Siementel here at 2011 ICAST. Sitting here with the guys from TackleTour. There's some kind of interesting stuff coming out with the Spro. A couple years back, about 3 years ago, after I was designing the 4-inch Shad for Spro, you know me, I'm like tinkering around, so I started building crankbaits out of them. Have them for about 3 years, and recently I got called by Spro BV. That's the mother company over in the Netherlands. The swim bait's really taken off over there. They're looking at stuff. They're catching a lot of zander, the pike, different style of fish in that area. And I got called recently and they said, hey, have you ever thought about building a swim bait that's actually a crankbait? Something that has depth control, that can get down in the water either by casting or trolling, target the fish we're fishing for over here, and make it a little bit different. I tell you what, I started laughing and I said, I built one about 3 years ago. Been actually fishing it here on the West Coast for the last 3 years in a lot of lakes, a lot of the tournaments Troy and I have been fishing. I've just been kind of keeping it under the hat. Sent it out to them. They put it in the test tank. Within about 30 seconds, they said, we're already going to production. It's going to be coming out in the early part of 2012 in Europe. Czechoslovakia, the Netherlands. It's going to hit over in France, Germany. It's really going to start taking over there. The interesting concept about this is for years, the Japanese market, Rapala and everything else have built custom baits for certain countries that, we couldn't get over here in the U.S. This is going to be the first time a U.S. company, Spro, is coming to a market to build a bait exclusively for another country. How long it stays over there actually depends on your readers. If you guys put the supply and demand, these guys will probably be swimming your way back to the U.S. quicker than you think. But what I built is a 4-inch swim bait, which is the 4-inch BBZ-1. I end up adding a bill to it. I ended up adding a second hook. The design, this is not the final prototype. I actually don't want anybody to really see it here because it's still kind of in the works. But I'll talk a little bit. It's going to actually be a fatter body. When you throw this bait, it's not going to spin as much in the air. We're going to have two styles in this. We're going to have a floater and a slow sink. The slow sink, it's pretty incredible. You can actually count it down, let it sit at one depth about 6 to 8 foot, wind drift back while you're letting line out with fluorocarbon. I've been able to get these baits down to 15 and 20 feet with this bill style. And it's a true hybrid. You're going to be able to crank it at a certain depth down. If it stops and you wind drift or have any type of current underwater, besides it's going down to that depth, you'll still have the swim bait movement without the mechanical dive to it. So this is going to be a very versatile bait, especially for the guys over there, but I think when it gets here on the West Coast, if you're fishing places like Havasu where you have any type of current, you can crank it down over the fish traps, have a bluegill sitting there and actually still have it swimming in one place. So keep an eye out for it. We're going to be talking more about it. What I'm going to do for Cal and the guys over there at TackleTour, when I get the final prototypes, we're still going to let you guys have it on the West Coast to look at it, let them do some testing with it, give a review, preview and everything else. And then, like I said, you're going to have to kind of look at sprobv.com to get your hands on any of these. Other than that, though, I'm going to be the only guy here fishing with them. So we got other baits and plans. I got a 2.5 with a bill that's a floater. And also I've already designed a 6-inch crankbait also for that, over there at the Europe. So I'm keeping those secret for a while, but they will be coming out. Stay tuned. Make sure you check in with TackleTour as much as you can to get the up-to-date minute of all the great gear that we have here in the U.S. Talk to you later.